You know, there are some dishes that you just have to eat in the place that they were created. And I have to say that the Oaxacan tlayuda is definitely one of those. That really huge corn tortilla scattered with all kinds of delicious toppings that only taste of being in Oaxaca. So when I came back to Chicago, I decided I wanted to do something that was inspired by the Oaxacan tlayuda. And you know, we have really wonderful tortillerias here in Chicago. So I went down to one that makes beautiful fresh ground corn masa from local corn. And I bought some of their tortillas. Different than the tlayuda in Oaxaca, and ours are certainly a lot smaller. And I want to crisp them, but I know that they will crisp the best if I just spread them out on a baking sheet like this, cover them with a towel, and let them dry out a little bit. Then I started thinking about those beautiful meats that they scatter on the tlayuda in Oaxaca, that great Oaxacan chorizo, or the thin-cut pork cecina that's marinated in a red chili adobo. And I thought about how incredibly delicious bacon is. So I bought some of that, and I'm going to cut it into small pieces. I'm going to scrape all of this together into a skillet. And I'm going to put it over kind of a medium to a medium low fire. I want the bacon to completely crisp. I'll check on it every once in a while as it's cooking to stir it in to make sure that it's evenly cooking. Now, bacon in Chicago in the summertime always leads me to tomatoes, because we have so many beautiful heirloom tomatoes from people's gardens, from the farmers markets. I'll wash off my knife here and start cutting up this beautiful array of colorful heirloom tomatoes. And when I think about bacon and heirloom tomatoes and summertime in Chicago, I'm always thinking about BLTs. And BLTs, to me, require an absolutely delicious homemade mayonnaise. So that's what I'm going to make now, but I'm going to make it with Mexican flavors. So I'm going to start this with a couple of egg yolks. So I'll separate those. And I'm going to squeeze in fresh lime juice. It'll take about a tablespoon for this. Top of the processor goes on, and I'm going to drizzle in oil. You could make this with vegetable oil or olive oil, though all olive will be a little strong. We have avocado. We have a little bit of serrano chile. And I'm going to put in a handful of cilantro. So everything's going to need to get roughly chopped. Take out the little button end of the avocado. And scoop half of the avocado into the food processor. Top goes on, and I'm going to pulse it until it's the right texture. And that's looking really delicious. I'm going to season it with a little salt, a few pulses to mix in the salt, and then I'm going to scrape that into a bowl. And now it's time for the tortillas. Once the bacon is done, I remove it to a paper towel to drain off the extra fat. The tortillas have dried out a little now, so I can lay them on a medium-hot grill and flip them every once in a while until they're browned and crisp to the touch. Then I use a brush to lightly oil each one with the leftover bacon drippings. Now to build these little treasures. I'm going to start with a little of our spicy avocado mayonnaise. And then some of the heirloom tomatoes. And now that smoky bacon. And finally, a few leaves of cilantro. It's the perfect taste of Chicago summer, inspired by Oaxaca.